Look, sometimes when Pokemon gives us new moves, they have very specific use cases that might not be apparent at first. Like, why would I ever use Spicy Extract? When am I ever going to want to increase my opponent's attack stat? Oh. That being said, sometimes Pokemon does give us a move that leaves us with that ever-present question of what were they cooking? There's a number of moves in Pokemon that not only have no competitive use, but also have no use during a playthrough and simply just shouldn't ever be used at all. Like, I'm not sure how else to explain it. We're just going to be talking about plain, flat-out useless moves today. Not moves like Splash or Celebrate, as their whole deal is that they're joke moves, but we'll be looking at moves that clearly someone patted themselves in the back when they created them, only for these moves to not have any applications. Between Gen 6 and 7, Game Freak removed a ton of useless moves from the game, and even took out quite a few useful ones for some reason. But these are moves that managed to survive even that culling. Let's get into it. If you guys enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, hype, do whatever. Micah, hyping's still new, so show the tutorial on how they hype the video. Okay, I swear this video isn't just going to be obvious ones, but present has to be mentioned. It's not like Splash, because it does hypothetically have the potential to do damage. It's just that it's like never worth the gamble, like at all. Like Splash will always do no damage, but Present has a 20% chance to heal the target for 25% of their max HP. At the very least, Splash is just wasting a move. Present can just outright sabotage your match. Even the base power is left up to chance. Present has a 40% chance to be a 40 base power move, a 20% chance to be an 80 base power move, and a 10% chance to be a 120 base power move. Present is a physical, normal type attack that doesn't even have 100 accuracy. It's only 90. This move has a chance to miss on top of everything else that could go wrong, but the fact that it only has a 10% chance to deal any kind of substantial damage is just straight up laughable. Is it a joke move? Yeah, kinda, only Delibird learns it, and I think Iron Bundle, but it is worth mentioning that it might be a joke move at the start of this video, if only to keep you guys from commenting it over and over again. You see, my idea for a Present rework is just turning it into a 150 base power rock type move where Delibird fills the sack with coal and goes ballistic. Everyone's been naughty this year, no one's getting presents. I genuinely have no idea why Snore survived the great move culling of Generation 8 when it's probably one of the most situational moves of all time. Like, in what situation am I ever going to click this attack? Oh, sick, a 50 base power normal type move that might flinch something. That's just a worse version of Headbutt. Oh, but you can use it while you're sleeping. Why would I ever plan on sleeping? I literally sell gamer subs in these videos. I'm not sleeping. This channel is partnered with Gamer Subs. If you want to support my work and get great tasting drinks, you can order Gamer Subs through my link in the description down below or with code Moxie boosted at checkout for 10% off. Gamer Subs is a caffeinated product that I recommend only to my 18+ viewers, but my link will send you to their caffeine-free product section just in case. Every product purchased through my link supports my channel financially, so I'd really appreciate the support. Now back to the video. Sleep Talk is a similar move in that it requires the user to be asleep for it to function, but it at least has some applications. Pokemon like Tatsugiri would run Sleep Talk because it was really easy to spore Tatsugiri on the turn that Dondozo got knocked out. Even Specs Pokemon would occasionally run Sleep Talk since it lets you attack with one of your other powerful moves if you happen to be put to sleep. Is there RNG with this move? Yes. But I would much rather not get the best move for the situation than literally always get a bad one. The hypothetical strongest Snore user is actually Blood Moon Ursaluna, but Sleep Talk is just better on this mon anyway, since Sleep Talk can sometimes pull Blood Moon as the attack. It's really that simple. I don't know, it's weird that this attack still exists all the way in Generation 9. I just can't think of any Pokemon ever clicking Snore. Look, I love Lucha Libre. The series finale just happened, bro. Go watch Místico vs MJF. Trust me. On a related note, why is Halucha from Kalos? I got a Mexican homie named French Montana. That doesn't make sense. Here's the thing. I don't care how hard you can aura farm with Halucha by letting it use a literal wrestling move. I don't care. I don't care that he's jumping from the top rope. There's literally no application for flying press in a competitive setting. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mr. Boosted, how could a 100 base power physical fighting move with nearly perfect accuracy have no use? Well, that's the thing. Flying Press isn't exactly a fighting type move, but it's also not a flying type move. Flying Press is a move that combines the flying and fighting type charts when it deals damage. This means that this move and this move alone might as well be its own brand new type, and man, what an awful type it is. Flying Press hits normal, ice, grass, dark, and fighting type Pokemon for super effective damage, while being resisted by electric, poison, flying, psychic, and fairy types. And ghost types are just flat out immune to it. Now, That's already a lot to have to remember on the fly, but what do we do when we get into dual types? Now, things get ridiculous at that point. You're telling me I need to carry around an IKEA manual just to know when I should click flying press and when I shouldn't? That's not worth the effort. Why do I need a cheat sheet to click my moves? I don't need a cheat sheet for close combat. I don't need a cheat sheet for Brave Bird. And this is especially funny when you consider the fact that everything that flying press hits for super effective damage is a type that close combat or Brave Bird also hits for super effective damage, but even harder because they're stronger moves that don't miss. Like the fact that flying press has types that resist it that the individual flying and fighting moves don't means that there's never a situation where you'd ever want to run flying press over either one of Hawlucha's typical attacks. So if you're running it, you still need to run Brave Bird in close combat just to make sure you don't end up getting walled by some random electric or poison type. Oh, sweet move, Hawlucha. One issue, you lose to Grimer now. How do you lose to Grimer? Just click Brave Bird. This move kind of annoys me because low-key, I should put Zap Cannon on this list for the exact same reasons, but I could at least see myself clicking Zap Cannon for aura farming purposes. Inferno just doesn't have the same kind of name value behind it. Inferno is a 100 base power fire type attack that will always burn the target. Kind of crazy, right? Like that's a pretty insane move. How could you have never heard of such a broken move? Oh, well, that's simple because it has 50 accuracy. I'm not joking. I've literally never seen this move be clicked, not even on like casual battles, and I've seen basically everything over there. A move that's only slightly stronger than Heat Wave, that always burns, but doesn't hit half the time, it's just strictly not worth the risk in any situation now, is it? Arguably, what really buries the move is the fact that most Pokemon aren't clicking a fire-type attack specifically for the purpose of burning something, and if a player wants to burn a Pokemon, they can simply click Will-O-Wisp. Is Will-O-Wisp a pretty risky move too? Yeah, but a 15% chance to miss is significantly better than a 50% chance to miss. If you want to deal damage, click a move that's gonna deal damage and not miss. If you want to burn something, click Will-O-Wisp and minimize the chances of not getting the burn off. Don't split the baby and get neither half the time. It's really that simple. Okay, so you know how Colossal is a certified cheese merchant? Like back in Generation 8, all it would ever do is weakness policy stuff and you would just lose to it and be really annoyed. Well, did you know that it also has a signature move? That's pretty cool, huh? Fun fact for you. This move isn't really anything special, but it gets even more baffling when you realize just how bad of a move it is on Colossal specifically. Tar Shot is a rock-type status move that lowers the target's speed and makes them take more damage from fire-type attacks. Speed control moves tend to be useful in double battles, especially when they're used by a super fast Pokemon, as you're able to lower the speed on the target and then outspeed them with a partner Pokemon and deal damage to them before they're able to attack. Colossal is the only Pokemon that learns Tar Shot. Except for Smeargle. Shut up, I know. Colossal has a speed stat of, drumroll please, 30. Yup. That's like running a speed control move on a Moongus. Colossal is among the slowest Pokemon ever put into the game. But what makes this even funnier is that you can kind of see what they were going for here. Colossal's ability Steam Engine causes it to maximize its speed stat if it's hit by a fire or water type attack. This is typically used with a weakness policy to double its attack stats while making it super fast and dealing heavy damage, at least prior to Generation 9 because it doesn't have its max move anymore. To effectively use Tar Shot from Colossal, not only would you need to activate the ability with a partner Pokemon, but that partner Pokemon should also probably be a fire type to take advantage of the new fire type weakness. Okay, sweet. So the optimal Tar Shot setup involves taking a turn to make my Colossal fast, and then taking another turn to use the move and then actually deal damage. And all of this, along with the fact that you could lose both of your Pokemon to a single Earthquake or Muddy Water, since they're both fire types. Awesome, great, no notes. Just okay, cool. Yeah, this move is kind of like having to ride your bike to go get gas for your car. Maybe just start with a car that has gas in it. The definition of insanity isn't doing the same thing over and over again and expecting things to change. One dude said that in a video game, and suddenly every armchair psychologist on Reddit decided that it was true. And this isn't even really what makes me mad, it's the fact that we let a Ubisoft game have a broad cultural impact. Luckily for us, Torment doesn't let you do the same thing over and over again. What exactly is the use case for Torment, though? When am I going to want to prevent a Pokemon from using the same move twice in a row? Like, wow, great, I can slightly inconvenience Choice Scarf Pokemon. You know what else does that much better? Disable. You know, when you disable the Choice Scarf Pokemon, they can't use that move for the next, 3 or 4 turns or whatever it is. With Torment, they can use it on the turn you torment them. and then not the next turn, and then they can do it again. Like, why are we using this? There was one Pokemon to ever actually run Torment competitively as far as I could tell from my research, and it was Heatran. Back in Generation 4, people would actually run Torment on Substitute Heatran. Effectively, what this set was trying to do was set up a Substitute and then Torment the opponent, then protect every turn the opponent was using the move that they wanted to click to break the Substitute. Since most Pokemon only ever had one move that could break Heatran's Substitute back then, this was actually pretty effective. But with modern power creep, this became a lot less effective and really just makes it so the Urshifu has to switch from close combat to surging strikes, or as the ancient Mesopotamians called it, crop rotation. GG, go next. Did you guys know that Hitmontop has a signature move? A lot of people don't, because there's basically no reason to ever use it. Triple Axle is an ice-type move that many Pokemon run today. It's a 20 base power attack that doubles in power every time it connects, which results in effectively a 120 base power attack 72.9% of the time. Lots of Pokemon run this as their ice coverage move because it's pretty reliable and actually deals really significant damage. But what a lot of people don't know is that this move is a variant of Triple Kick, which has been in the games as long as Hitmontop has been. Triple Kick is Hitmontop's signature move, which is a fighting type attack. Only this move begins as a 10 base power attack that doubles with each hit, meaning that 72.9% of the time, I'm just going to say 73, it reaches a massive 60 base power, or 90 if you run Technician Hitmontop, which is still weaker than Triple Axle. Like, oh, cool, 73% chance to use Force Palm, and what, like an 8% chance to use Mach Punch, and like a 10% chance it just doesn't do anything at all? Thank you, Game Freak. Masterful Gambit. I'm sure at some point there was a demand for this type of move in the games, but in a modern competitive landscape where we have close combat and high jump kick as available options on Hitmontop, there's really not a single point in the game where I would want to roll the dice for a chance to hit as hard as Circle Throw. Genuinely, why is this move so weak? This move could actually be solid if it was scaled the same way as Triple Axle was, but okay, sure, I don't know, maybe Hitmontop just needs to hit the gym more. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Those are some moves that really shouldn't exist anymore because they're useless. Comment, like, hype, Patreon, boom. I don't feel like writing an outro, so here's my boilerplate one I do all the time. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It'd mean the world to me. If you want to support my channel further, you should check out my Patreon page or become a YouTube channel member by clicking the join button below the video. This gets you sneak peeks at future videos, as well as bonus content and access to my supporter-only Discord server, where you can hang out and team build with other community members. You also see your name at the end of all my videos, like all these lovely people. Special thanks to my most boosted supporters, Avatar67 and Club, for their generous pledges. Another way to support me is to check out all the videos in the playlist on screen right now. I know you'll find something in there that you'll enjoy. I also have a second channel where I talk about the current VGC metagame trends, and a Twitch channel where I stream, both of which are in the description. Or you can just tune in my YouTube live streams Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. CST. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.